of a fan.
World champion Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. About an hour and a half ago, it was pouring here at the ballpark, but the skies have cleared. It's a beautiful night for baseball as the Braves again start play one game behind the Mets in the East. The Mets are in Milwaukee for game 2 of their series. Meanwhile, here at home, everything is going the Braves' way. They've won 9 straight, and they face Patrick Corbin with Charlie Morton on the mound here in game 2 of the set. Hi again, friends. Paul Bird, Peter Moylan, Chip Carey. Great to be back with you for Braves baseball. Heck, when you win 9 games in a row at home, just about everything's going right, Birdie. Let's start with you. This Braves pitching staff is getting it done here at Truist Park.
It really doesn't matter who is on the mound right now. They are clicking. We got 3 aces in that rotation. How about Max Fried? Albert Pujols said he's one of the best in the game. There's Strider, the best stash. He's also setting K records. Let's not forget about Kyle Wright, who leads all of baseball in wins. You see the numbers. I'm not even talking about the pen that's also been excellent, and the other guys in that rotation simply phenomenal. What's your thoughts on the hitting, Peter?
Those are great numbers. Let me throw some more at you. 4.9 runs per game, 18 home runs, and they've outscored their opponents 44-14. But it's the way that they're doing it, guys. It's not just the 1 or 2 guys in the lineup. They have stretched it all the way from 1 through 9. There is not one place that you can go in this lineup to look for outs, and that's what makes it so tough for opposing teams when they come in here.
Well, let's see if Atlanta can make it a perfect 10-game home win streak tonight and put a little pressure on the first place Mets. It's a matchup of veteran starters. Charlie Morton for the Braves, Patrick Corbin for the Nationals, whom Atlanta has beaten 9 straight times. I'm seeing a trend here. Kelly Crawl will join us. She has some big stories too as we get you started with the Braves and Nationals.
Braves baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet only from Xfinity. Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life. And by the NASCAR playoffs at Talladega Superspeedway October 1st and 2nd. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
2 hours ago here in Atlanta, we were sitting in a virtual typhoon. It was pouring, heavy downpours here at Truist Park. But as you see, the weather has cleared. It's a beautiful night for the Braves to continue their winning ways behind Charlie Morton. The Braves are going for their 10th consecutive win here at Truist Park. They will take on the 51-96 Washington Nationals, whom the Braves beat 5-2 last night. The Braves have won 11 of the first 14 games head-to-head with the Nationals, who have Lane Thomas leading off their Toyota starting lineup. Joey Meneses, a former Braves farmhand, had a 4-hit game last night. And we'll get a look at Cesar Hernandez in left field. He's a veteran who's been on base a lot for Davey Martinez's club. Charlie Morton's on the mound, guys. These are Charlie's numbers since the All-Star break, and at home he's been very, very good.
Well, you see the strikeouts on the curveball, the 4-seam, some of the best combination in the game. 38 years old. It's very important for him to maintain his mechanics and control. The only time I think he gets in trouble is when he gets a little bit out of his mechanics and has a bad inning. Pitching has been so great lately. Just follow the leader.
That's our StatCast 3D presented by Google Cloud. Morton 8-6. And as you see, Peter, dominant against the Washington Nationals. And look, these are important starts for a guy who's been around as long as Charlie. He's trying to get ready for a long postseason run for the Braves. What better time to get that started than tonight?
Exactly right. And it's going to be all about that curveball for me tonight. And I'll tell you what, if Charlie's got that curveball walking, that old number 2, we'll be able to tell really early on. He had struggles with it last time out, found it about the 3rd or 4th inning. We've got to get on Corbin early too, okay? He's been pretty good the last 5 starts. He's made some changes. We've had some success against him, but for that to continue, we're going to have to make some adjustments today.
So we'll follow those Ford keys the rest of this night as Lane Thomas digs in to lead the game off for the Nationals. Thomas 1 for 3 in the game last night. 16 homers, 50 RBIs, but he's a man that will strike out a time or two. 116 of them so far on the season. Lane Thomas, a former Cardinal. And Charlie Morton into his windup. And we are underway with a pitch outside, ball one. 80 degrees. Ryan Blakeney is the home plate umpire tonight. And that one tipped into the glove of Travis d'Arnaud. Even count. Charlie's last start, kind of an odd one. 4 runs in 5 1/3 innings against the Giants. 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. And when his stuff started to fade, it faded pretty quickly. And Snit got him out of the game in the 6th inning. In fact, he pulled him out with a 1-0 count, which has rarely happened for the Braves.
That's unusual.
So let's see what Morton has in store with a 1-2 count for Lane Thomas. There's that number 2, Peter, way outside, but it was really breaking.
Right, with 2 strikes, you want to sort of see what it's going to do on the mound. Now he knows. Now he can readjust his sights. Throw it again. Aim it a little bit more towards Lane's hips.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Thomas, Garcia, and Joey Meneses coming up here in the Nationals' 1st inning. It's been a rough go for the Nats. They're on pace to lose 106 games this year. They're at 96 losses starting play tonight. Counting this game, we have 5 left head-to-head with Washington. Just 15 games remain on the schedule in regular season play. And there is a lot on the line tonight. If the Braves can win and if Milwaukee loses, Atlanta clinches a playoff spot. But I think we'd prefer Milwaukee to win, and we win here in game 2. And Charlie loses Lane Thomas. It's a leadoff walk. Been kind of a roller coaster ride for Charlie Morton. First 12 starts, really struggled to figure it out. Had a real good run in the next 12, and now he's kind of betwixt and between. One good one, one not so good one in rotation for Atlanta. Let's see what he does with Luis Garcia. And keep an eye on Thomas. He's got 6 stolen bases. And Garcia behind in the count.
Last couple curveballs from Morton have gone a little more east-west than I'm used to. It hasn't had quite that tilt. And we've talked about it so many times. It's important that a starting pitcher lock in early, especially with their breaking stuff in that 1st inning. Morton is not settled in right now. If he can get some downward tilt on that curveball, like yesterday, we could get an early double play.
That one way outside, almost to the backstop. Good save by Travis. And that's an even count.
Muggy night, that could be a factor as well early on.
So Morton's first trip to the rosin bag with Thomas at first. And this one lifted on the infield. That should be a can of corn. Vaughn Grissom and Dansby Swanson. It'll be the Brave shortstop. And Garcia's retired. 1 on, 1 out.
I'm with you, Bertie. I just saw that the movement on that curveball then. It seemed very flat and across the top of the zone, which is exactly what you don't want for a curveball, especially something like his.
You know, a slider, if it's a little east-west on the side, doesn't quite have the depth. It still looks like more like the fastball, and it's sharp. But the curveball, if you get on the side of it, has that frisbee effect. It's a little more loopy and a little more hittable.
Well, everything was hittable for this guy last night. Joey Meneses, a 4-hit game. Not bad for a 30-year-old rookie who has 9 homers, 23 RBIs, and is hitting .325.
He may be mad it took him so long to get here. Letting people know.
He played 6-7 years in the Braves minor league system. Brian Snitker neither coached nor managed him, but he knew about him. Made it all the way to Mississippi. Played overseas in Japan. Now hitting a shot with the Nats, and there is a shot. That'll be a double play. Morton's 14th twin killing ends the Nationals' first inning. Good start for Charlie. Here come the Braves. No score. Acuna Jr.'s had a terrific homestand for the Braves. He is our Mr. Clean Magic Stats man entering Game 2 tonight.
Check out these numbers. Last 3 seasons at home versus the NL East, which is where you want to do your damage. .311 average with a 1.095 OPS and 58 runs scored.
Fantastic this month versus National League East. Acuna, .333 average, .741 slugging. Let's hope that continues.
The Toyota starting lineup looks very similar to last night. Robbie Grossman gets the start with the left-hander Patrick Corbin on the mound. Acuna 1 for 3 here last night. The Braves have beaten Patrick Corbin 9 straight times. But Peter, as you mentioned a moment ago, he's a different Patrick Corbin lately.
Well, you'd expect it to come at some point, but he's actually made some adjustments and he started to throw his slider a little bit less. I remember talking to Freddie Freeman about his slider back in the day when he was really good, maybe 2019, and he said that you just could not pick it up. There was no difference between the fastball and slider when it came towards the plate. It's obviously changed a bit now.
So Patrick Corbin, when the Nationals got him, was one of the most sought-after free agents in baseball. The last 2 years, he's 17-34 with an ERA over 6. But as you mentioned, over the last 5 games, his ERA a .290 and 2 wins, 2 losses. So that change has changed his fortunes, and the Nationals need him. This is a club that's without Strasburg, without Bell, without Soto, and he's under contract for another couple years. And the high heat takes care of Acuna, and strikeout number 1 is recorded by Patrick Corbin. 1 away.
Corbin has thrown his fastball 62% of the time versus right-handed batters. That's highest among starters in all of baseball. That was one right there. Perfect location.
So there you see it. Fastball usage up, slider usage down, and the numbers improving for Mr. Corbin. Here's Dansby. He was 0 for 3 last night. Enters play tonight hitting .279. And he is attacking with that fastball. But missed inside. 2-0 for the Braves shortstop, who's 1 RBI away from a career high of 88 set last season. .3-0.
One thing of note, something to watch for during the game. We talked about Corbin throwing a lot of fastballs. We showed you the high sinker usage. That's the pitch the Atlanta Braves hit the best. They hit .344 on lefty sinkers.
Austin Riley will follow Dansby Swanson as Corbin goes back to work. Swing and a line drive into left field. That's a base hit. That's the 200th hit Patrick Corbin has allowed this year in 147 2/3 innings. So a good start for the Braves. Dansby Swanson with 1 out, singles to left.
He's done it all year long. He just continues to put good swings on the ball. It's nothing that he does at this point shocks me. It's just been such a consistent year for him.
Austin Riley with 37 homers, 92 driven in. He homered here last night. Swung at the first one and pops it up. Meneses in front of the Braves dugout steps, hauls that in. 2 away. And that'll bring up Matt Olson. Boy, what a weight off of Matt's shoulders last night. A 2-hit game after a long dry spell at the plate.
Called by my partner too. Picked the day beautifully. Now that's the kind of thing that can get someone going too, especially after soft single the first one, a little bit harder the next one, but he's been hitting the ball hard. It's not been a question of that. Now he's going to start finding some holes. And as they said in the pregame, perfect timing too.
Corbin is a left-hander that Matt Olson has handled historically head-to-head. Matt is 8 for 27. And hitting .235 on the year. 28 homers overall this season. Big hole for him left side with 2 outs. This might be a spot where that slider gets Patrick Corbin into a little bit of trouble. We'll see.
I like the work Nick Green did. The pregame show talking about Olson getting his front foot down early and that being a difference in him being ready to hit, and his timing felt like he was late. And when he was late, the barrel would dip a little bit. So I'm paying attention to that lead foot and how quickly it gets down in relation to Corbin's throw.
Corbin might have hurt himself.
He's pointing at his lower back. At last pitch, Corbin might have tweaked something. He's bent at the waist. And this is exactly what the Nationals don't need.
Such a hard decision. Even to just take a look here. He looked like he tried to ease up in his release a little bit.
Yeah.
May have felt it before he tried to throw the ball, and he's done.
And I read what Davey said. He said, I don't want to chance it when it comes to back. You don't ever mess around with back.
So Patrick Corbin faces 4 hitters, retires 2 of them, and has to leave this game in the bottom of the first inning after tweaking his lower back, we presume. We will find out more once we hear from the Nationals training room. And now Davey Martinez with this game tonight and a quick turnaround tomorrow. He and Jim Hickey really have their hands full trying to figure out who's going to pitch the rest of this game against the Braves.
That's tough. My partner Peter Moylan's available. One-day contract.
One thing to watch for though too is as a lineup, you've set yourself up to face Corbin. You're expecting to at least, as a 1 through 9, you're expecting to at least see him once. So now you've got to completely change your sights, and depending on who they bring in, I'd assume they're going to bring in a right-hander because our lineup's set up for a lefty.
Yeah, well, that's all they've got. They have no left-handed relief pitchers. So you saw Jim Hickey talking with Dave Martinez. Who in the world are we going to pitch? Because the last thing they expected was Corbin to leave this game in the first inning. So we are in the Nationals bullpen. One of their relievers probably had to put his spikes on. And so here we go. We'll tell you who the new Nationals pitcher will be in this Braves first inning in Atlanta after this.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And by Yellowwood. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Every manager's nightmare is when your starter has to leave with injury in any inning, but especially so in the first, as Erasmo Ramirez guys will come on and pick up Patrick Corbin. This guy's already picked up the 3rd most innings pitched in the National League this season, Peter, and this really puts a damper on what Washington can do tonight, perhaps tomorrow, because they haven't announced their starter for Game 3 either.
This is a chance to pick up your team. I've been a long reliever before. There's no real opportunity to settle in. You got to go out and do the job. Guys are on base. Hope you didn't have a sandwich 30 minutes ago, but this is one of those emergency starts, and he is a very good pitcher. You saw the numbers, so we'll see how long he can go.
He'll have as much time as he needs to get ready. As you see his arsenal, cutters and sinkers. And he's a man the Braves have seen before, and he's going to inherit Matt Olson with a 1-1 count. Matt had a couple of hits last night, and this was his reaction after his big night in the Braves win. Sharply hit. There's a base hit for Olson into the right field corner. It's okay to smile, Matt. Line and into right center field. A 2-hit game for Matt Olson.
The dugout there and kind of threw your hands up there. It's just, you know, they're kind of playing, but you know, it's just fun to have see the teammates' reaction too.
Yeah, you know, it was kind of planned, but it was also kind of real.
Oh, that's great. That is fantastic. We all know the kind of pressure that athletes put on themselves when they're struggling. So that kind of relief, it's got to feel so good. I've never done it because I've never got a hit, but I'm sure it felt great.
So all your game planning is to face Patrick Corbin, who has 18 losses on the year. That's out the board before the first inning is taken care of, and now Matt has to face Ramirez with Dansby aboard and 2 outs.
And a 1-1 count. It's got to feel kind of strange.
52% cutters to left-handed hitters only. So Matt's got to be ready for that cutter up and in.
Braves have seen Erasmo Ramirez before. He started against Atlanta in the final game before the All-Star break. He went 3 innings and gave up 1 hit. But as Paul said, these are huge innings that he'll try to gobble up here in game 2. No score as Dansby leads at first. That one is tipped and caught, and Matt Olson swings through strike 3. Dansby Swanson left at first. We go to the second, no score. Big news before the game. For more on that, let's check in with Kelly Kroll. Hey, Kel.
Hey, guys. Well, before the game, Brian Snitker announcing that it will be Bryce Elder getting the start in the finale tomorrow against the Nationals. But before getting too concerned, that just means they are pushing everybody in the rotation back a day. So Max Fried will be going on Thursday. It will be Spencer Strider, whose next start will be skipped. And that is because he came in and told Snit after his last start that he was feeling just a little bit of soreness in his left oblique. Now, he will continue to play catch. I want you to know he did say he wanted to make that start, could make that start, but because Bryce Elder is here, they're able to just play it safe right now with just a few weeks left here in the season. And I think I should also mention that it does possibly lead to, if they insert him next week, it could be Wright, Strider, and Fried going against the Mets.
Great report, Kelly. Yeah, you do have to think ahead for that huge series here against New York, and you also have to manage the long-term and short-term health with so much on the line for all of these Brave starters.
You're absolutely right, and that might be a coincidence, but I'm going to guess that it may not be also.
Hey, it's a great problem to have, and
sure is.
I love the fact that Strider, who is inserted into that rotation, who's had a heavy workload, regardless if he needs a little bit of extra rest because of a side, I like him getting that rest anyways. This is new territory for him in the last few years. He shows no signs of slowing down, but it could only help him.
And the key too is that you can really, you're not going to know exactly where you're at after that Mets series. So 3 games left in the season to set yourself up for, we're expecting playoffs, and you can really go for it against the Mets and then realign against the Marlins.
This is Luke Voit, who struck out 4 times last night.
Also want to thank our producer Gretchen Caney for having Kelly give that hit early, because I couldn't hold that information much longer.
Good pitch over the inside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Voit. He's a 21 homer man. Cesar Hernandez and C.J. Abrams, the Atlanta kid, will follow here in the Washington second. Charlie's breaking ball is taking a big left turn, but he hasn't found the plate with it an awful lot. 17 pitches, 9 strikes.
Six straight curveballs in this at bat from Charlie. We saw Kyle Wright do that to Luke early yesterday as well, and then went heavy sinkers when Russell came in. Similar plan tonight, it seems like.
Then a fastball right on by, and Voit strikes out again. First for Morton.
What set this up is the curveballs, because 94 looks like 104. Oh yeah, and it's down and in with some sink on the inside corner. Perfect pitch.
.14 miles an hour is a lot to cover. In that sequence, here's Cesar Hernandez. His first action of the series. We're used to seeing Cesar playing on the infield. He's playing left field for Washington tonight. He's been a hot hitter. He's reached base in 15 straight games. Three and 0. Morton walked Lane Thomas to start the game. A double play erased him in the first inning. And nice and easy. Laid one in there at 95 for a strike.
At 38 years old. In September.
Lifted toward Robbie Grossman in left. That'll be no trouble. 2 outs. Nice comeback from Morton. And C.J. Abrams will hit with the bases empty. Abrams part of the big haul for the Nationals in the Bell and Soto deal consummated at the trade deadline. Out of Blessed Trinity High School here in Metro Atlanta. He had a good night last night with a hit and a run scored. He said he's always dreamed of playing either for or against the Braves here in Atlanta. Well, he's getting to do it with the Nationals in this series, and he'll see us a lot if his career goes the way the Nats think it will.
Forget about that average you see right there. They love him. He's gotten solid work at shortstop. He replaced Garcia, who's now at second. Vargas replaced Francona at third. Everybody got better. When your defense gets better, your pitching gets better.
One ball, one strike. And now Morton a strike away from getting the Braves bats back in play here in the second inning.
Seems to be using the changeup against left-handed hitters more than that curveball.
Very good.
Fly ball center. Harris retreats, but plenty of room, and Charlie Morton has 2 scoreless innings. d'Arnaud, Contreras, and Harris are coming up. The Braves are within the division, starting tonight with the Washington Nationals. Atlanta's great work against the East is our game nugget, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Well, check this out. The last 15 games again versus the NL East. 14-1. That'll get it done. 27 home runs and a 2.13 ERA.
What that means, the Braves pitchers have held the NL East opponents to 3 runs or less in 14 of the last 15 and outscored them 84-32. If you do that, good things will happen. I know he's happy about it.
So the challenge for the Braves, you've spent all day today getting ready for Patrick Corbin. Now you have Erasmo Ramirez in relief after Corbin hurt his back. Peter, how does an offense do that on the fly this early?
Well, I didn't know until I heard one member of our squad talking about how differently they prepare themselves based on the pitcher. They'll go in the cage and they'll take tee work depending on what kind of pitches they have. So it'd be interesting to see if guys run in and take some more hacks. Might be too late now, but that's the confusing part. That's the tough part as an offense. You dream about the pitcher you're facing the next day, especially when it's Corbin.
d'Arnaud 2 for 4 against Ramirez, a triple and a homer. That's dream-worthy. As an even count pitch comes and misses high and away.
And the effect on the bullpen. I can tell you right now that when that phone rang or when he started walking around the back of the mound, everybody in that bullpen was on panic mode.
And the Nationals have not announced their starter for tomorrow afternoon's game. So let's get into that pen a little deeper here in the early innings and make life even tougher for Dave Martinez. Nats are without Steven Strasburg. He's injured again, and one wonders if he'll ever pitch again for the Nationals. Corbin gets hurt tonight.
That's been so unfortunate. I mean, Davey Martinez, so frustrating. I'm sure losing Soto, Scherzer, others, so many big names after winning the World Series not long ago in 19.
Hit to second. And the peg to first from Garcia takes care of d'Arnaud. 2 up, 2 down for Erasmo Ramirez. William Contreras the hitter, but first a word from Truist.
Tim always offered the best advice.
Hit it nice and firm.
Today, Tim is a teammate at Truist, where you can get personalized insights right on the app.
Here's William, the Braves DH. 6 hits so far on the homestand. And a couple of home runs. And he takes strike 1. 19 homers and 42 ribbies for the Braves designated hitter. This guy knows how to pitch. He's been around a long time. 10 major league seasons. Was invited to camp on a minor league deal, and here he is. 3rd most innings of any relief pitcher in the National League, as that one scalded towards center, but right at Robles. And 2 men are out in the 2nd inning. That'll bring up Money Mike, Michael Harris. He was 1 for 4 last night.
Everybody has a routine as a mid-reliever, as a closer, as a starter, and you do not structure your routine as a mid-reliever to be ready in the first. Ramirez has come in and been sharp right out of the gate.
Three outs on 12 pitches. And up and away, ball 1. Mets and Milwaukee are just underway at American Family Field in Bruce City. Carrasco versus Ashby, the pitching matchup. We'll keep you posted on that tonight. A ball and a strike, bases empty.
You can see when you have that cutter as a righty, you started out middle to get the up and in jam shot, and then away, as you saw right there, you try to throw it off the plate and have it come back and clip the edge.
Mike has to protect with 2 strikes. And Riley Adams watches that bounce up. Even count at 2-2. Robbie Grossman would love a chance to hit here in the 2nd inning. Michael will have to reach with 2 outs for that to happen. He's got a 2-2 pitch coming. And a swing and a miss will retire him. Couple of strikeouts for Erasmo Ramirez. Scoreless after 2 in Atlanta. Make sure you vote for Tyler Matzik for the 2022 Roberto Clemente Award presented by Capital One that recognizes players who best represent our game through positive contributions on and off the field. Tyler's done incredible work supporting mental health awareness, and you can vote today at MLB.com/Clemente21.
You know what's great about that, Chip? It's one thing to do something absolutely unbelievable like get over the yips. It's another thing to feel confident enough to go out there and speak about it and make sure that other people know that they're not alone.
I thought it was great that Kirby Yates said, Braves reliever, if there was any award to win, that's number 1.
Ildemaro Vargas leads off versus Charlie Morton as the Nationals come up in the 3rd inning. Morton's faced the minimum through 2. Vargas last night had a couple of hits and scored a run.
Similar to the last start, he's landed the first curveball that he threw in the 3rd inning. This is where he started to get comfortable last time, for a couple of innings at least.
Don't you wish a reliever would have the luxury of a couple of innings, Peter, to settle in and just feel all the pitches?
That's what the bullpen's for, apparently, Chip.
Right? There you go.
They only got to pitch 1 inning. I mean, come on.
0-2 for Vargas. And a weak swing and a miss. 2nd strikeout for Charlie. Good start to the 3rd inning.
Watch this curveball starting away and just at the last second clips the outside corner. Can't be thrown much better. Emergency hack. Hitting coaches don't teach that one.
Robles was 0 for 3 last night. He had a line drive sacrifice fly. His 31st RBI. This guy is an enormously talented defensive player. They keep waiting for the offense to catch up. It just hasn't happened yet. Only a .226 average. He's got it humming now, doesn't he?
That's another cutter. That's a pitch that I feel like in those 12 games in the middle that he had some success, you mentioned, Chip. That was a pitch that he went to steal strikes when he had to. He's relied very heavily on the fastball, curveball last few. He's mixing a few more cutters.
Tantalizing pitch. Robles laid off. Full count. Line into left. Grossman will give ground. That ball hydroplanes off the grass. Robles, a big turnaround first, has to slam on the brakes. Well played by Robbie in left. That is the first Nationals hit of the game. It comes with 1 out here in the 3rd inning.
Four-seam fastball. Too much plate, middle. A lot of cutters in that at bat. You could tell Robles was looking for that fastball the whole time based on the swings on those cutters. But when you throw it middle like that, it's what's supposed to happen, unfortunately.
Well, let's see if Riley Adams can hit into another double play. Charlie's gotten 14 of them on the season. 1 ended the Nationals' 1st inning. He's throwing strike 1. That's good to see. 7 out of 9 in first pitch strikes. And that one got away from Olson, and Robles is going to jog to second. He's hurting. He needs time. So he's holding his right hip. So that takes away the double play chance. We'll see how that's scored.
E1 throwing error.
Hit him right in the hip. So a throwing error on Charlie Morton. Adams now with a runner in scoring position. Let's see what Charlie has in mind for the Nationals catcher. It's a breaking ball, explosive pitch, and a big second out for strikeout number 3.
Nice pitch, curveball down and away. Looks like it's going to be middle. Hitter always has to protect, and just gosh, at the last minute, the difference between the cutter that goes side to side and the curveball that goes straight down.
So back to the top in Lane Thomas. He walked in the 1st inning. Robles has good speed at second. The Braves shade Lane Thomas around toward right. Remember, we had a lot of rain here. Might be tough to grip the ball securely with the wet outfield grass. But if Charlie keeps throwing breaking balls for strikes, it may not matter. He's starting to dial that baby in. He's way ahead 0-2. Good try. Good patience by Lane Thomas. A ball and 2 strikes. Charlie's right on time with his pitch count, 43 of them to this point. He's allowed 2 base runners and just 1 hit. He's trying to pitch around his 2nd error of the season. Came in this inning, and that's golfed foul. Still 1-2.
There was the steady dose of curveballs followed up by the fastball for effect. After that, you have the choice to go back to the curve or throw that fastball up.
A one-out single has Robles at second after the error on Morton. Lane Thomas waiting for the 5th pitch. And he went around. Charlie Morton strikes out the side. 4 strikeouts for Morton through 3 scoreless innings. Grossman, Grissom, and Ronald are coming up looking to break a 0-0 game. We've got an ACC football doubleheader on Saturday. We hope you'll join us on Bally Sports South and the Bally Sports app for South Florida and Louisville at noon Eastern, and then at 7:30 Eastern Time, UConn and NC State. ACC Saturdays on South, presented by your local Ford dealers. Here's Robbie Grossman leading off the Atlanta third. Vaughn Grissom will follow him. Erasmo Ramirez, if you're just joining us, came on in relief of Patrick Corbin, who faced 4 hitters, left with a back injury, it appears. So Ramirez doing the heavy lifting in relief here in game 2 for the Nationals. Robbie's had a good run with the Braves. A homer, 10 RBIs in his last 9. And smokes that towards center, but just off the end of the bat. Robles retreats at the last moment, and there's out number 1. That was a good play by Robles. They say the ball hit right at you is the toughest one to gauge. With his speed, timed it perfectly, got a better beat on it, and made a routine play.
My instructions all the way through junior baseball was to wait till the ball gets to its peak and then you make your read. It's tough on balls in the gap, obviously. You can't stand still, but on the one straight at you, that's the best way to tackle them.
Vaughn Grissom was 0 for 2 last night. We'll look for the second Atlanta hit of the game. The pitch.
I love how some of the Nats reporters asking, broadcasters asking Snit about Grissom to describe him, and he said, you know what, he's just a baseball player. It's one of the highest compliments you can get. Just a grinder, does a lot of things very well. Hits for power, hits for average.
On the ground up the middle, C.J. Abrams, 360 spin, and a stretch at first, pulled him off the bag. Super play by Abrams, but his throw was up the first base line, and for the moment, Grissom is safely aboard with 1 out.
I think they might have stayed on.
Base hit.
No, he was off. It's a good call.
Base hit, and Grissom rewarded for hustling down the line.
Washington is challenging the safe call at first.
Washington will challenge this call. You can understand why they would from Dave Martinez's angle. He can't see how far the foot of Meneses came off the bag, but that great replay from our Bally crew showed he was clearly a couple of inches off the first base bag. Right there.
And surely they have, but he's still going to get, it's seeing whether he came back to it, which he clearly didn't. But unless the spike touched it, and I can't see it.
That was a heck of a play, though, by Abrams. That ball had a lot of top spin on it. And terrific athletic play will go unrewarded, it appears, as the verdict appears to be in from New York.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. The runner is safe. Washington loses their challenge.
So Grissom with an infield hit. Let's see if the Braves try to force the action here and get some offense started. In this scoreless game, Ronald will be your hitter. He struck out against Patrick Corbin to start the night. Ronald's 1 for 8 against Erasmo Ramirez in his career. Keep an eye on Vaughn Grissom. He's stolen 5 bases. See if we try to take a few liberties here with 1 out in a scoreless 3rd inning. Six runs batted in for Ronald on this very good homestand with the Phillies and Nationals in opposition. Looks like that right leg is underneath him. He's getting leverage, Birdie.
Absolutely. I like to see Ronnie looking for that cutter, trying to drive the ball the other way. If he tries to pull it, that's where he'll get that ground ball to the left side.
Driven toward right, but right at Lane Thomas. That got in on his hands a bit, and that's the 2nd out. That'll bring up Dansby Swanson, who has the first Atlanta hit tonight. Dansby's good work is tonight's Georgia Natural Gas Impact Player feature.
You want to take a look at a bulk amount of games. This is the last 2 seasons versus the Nationals in 33 games. He's got a .286 average, 10 home runs, 27 RBIs, and 25 runs scored.
Braves are 25-8 in those 33 games. Not too shabby.
19 hits for Swanson against the Nationals this year, including a first inning single to left. Ryan Blakeney behind the plate trying to keep this game at a good pace. Made him throw a strike, and he did. 2-1 your count. Get that first run. Braves are 67-12 this year when they score first. No sign of movement from Grissom at first with 2 outs. And that's poked out of play. And here we go. This is where Dansby's been so good. 2 strike, 2 out situations. Let's see what he has in store for us. If Ramirez hangs something, there's a ton of space in left center. The 2-2 pitch. Little number hit toward short. Abrams has it. He'll glove. Throws on the run. That's close, and they got him by a quarter step. 2 nice plays by C.J. Abrams in the Atlanta 3rd. We head to the 4th. Still scoreless in game 2. Fourth inning tonight. The 2, 3, 4 hitters are coming up for the Nationals. And with that in mind, let's check out tonight's Coors Light Beating the Pressure feature.
Last 2 seasons here at Truist, 11-4. That whip at just over 1 and almost 11.5 Ks per 9.
Fantastic. Morton's last 5 home starts, 2-0 with a 0.87 ERA. pitching well again tonight.
With 4 strikeouts in his first 3 innings. And this is to Luis Garcia. 1 ball, no strikes. Garcia popped out to short his first time up.
There's something about pitching at home always for a pitcher. You're comfortable with the mound, the backdrop, your fans are cheering for you. But I got to give another shout out to the Atlanta Braves fans for here we are on a Tuesday night. They're filling up the park. They're loud. They're into it. And it's almost every game that is that playoff type atmosphere. They're smart fans. They know when to cheer. And it's a fun team to follow.
That's how you draw 3 million fans, which is what the Braves are on pace to do tomorrow. Good team, great giveaway. The Ron Washington bobblehead tonight. And a chance, if the Braves win and the Mets lose, to pull into a first place tie in the East. And Charlie Morton's breaking ball is as good as it has been. Here's some of those good home numbers that Paul was talking about.
You look at the home record, National League ranked second. A lot of homers at home. Everybody loves the home runs. That's what keeps people coming out. A lot of cheers. Pitch well at home. You're going to surpass 3 million fans for the first time since 2000. When guys last year like Jock Peterson came over and talked about in the playoffs how loud it gets here, that's such a compliment when the opposing players talk about you.
Joey Meneses is the batter, hitting to a double play his first time up. And look, that's why this push to the finish for the Braves is so critically important. The cut to the chase, as we call it. You win the division, you get time off to set your team going into your playoff matchup. If you're in as the wild card, you're going to start playing the first Friday at the end of regular season play. There is a ton to play for the Braves, who again have a magic number of 2 to make postseason play. That would mean Atlanta has to win tonight. Milwaukee would have to lose tonight. We don't want the Brewers to lose. They're playing the Mets, and by the way, they're beating them 2-0 in the second inning off Carlos Carrasco.
I like it.
The 0-2 pitch is out of play for Big Joey. And we'll try again 0-2.
There can also be an advantage of having to play yourself into the second round of the playoffs, go through the wild card. Obviously, it's going to be a longer run. But if you're not hitting your strides 100%, you're obviously done. If you can play yourself into form towards the end of the year and carry that momentum through, then you can see it. It's happened the last few years.
Nats did that in 19.
On the ground, deep short. Dansby slides from a knee, throws, and got him. What a play from Swanson.
I want to talk about range. He had to take 11 steps to his left, naked dive, and then plant his feet and low 3/4 sidearm from about 130 feet away. That transfer in itself is almost impossible with a wet ball, and then to make a perfect throw. It doesn't really get much better than that.
I don't know how he got that much on the throw. Falling backwards, trying to get rid of it. As you said, the ball's a little slick. I know Ron Washington's happy.
He's never out of position, ever. You're almost surprised when he doesn't make a play or has a chance to make one. That was one of his best of the year. As Luke Voit makes contact, pops it down the line. Long run, Olsen near the netting, and it hits off the netting, foul. And it's an even count.
He just acted like he caught it. Brilliant. Didn't work, but brilliant.
And the first base umpire giving Matt a little grief too, as if to say, you think I didn't see that? That was Nick Marley giving it to him at first base.
We have a rule in cricket, in the backyard cricket, you can play one hand, one bounce. So that's should introduce that.
I like it. The old smile.
1-1 pitch.
Pitching 101. So many curveballs. You know that's all he's thinking about. And if a curveball starts where that fastball does, it's going to break out.
So what's Voit going to get here?
The changeup. Again. He used it over and over again tonight. We talked about it earlier. Sometimes when you have a pitch that's working out of the pen into the game, maybe it's not your best pitch, but if it is that day, then you go to it.
I wouldn't want to throw this guy a fastball if I don't have to. 1-2 pitch. The last time Voit came up, it was all breaking balls, and then bang, sinker struck him out swinging. Voit 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts in the series. 2-2 the count, bases empty. 4th inning, scoreless. Braves will have their 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up. So you can see the wheels turning in Voit's head, the internal computer. Is he throwing me another breaking ball, or is he going to sneak that fastball inner half again? It was the breaking ball, and it runs the count full. Foul again, and Voit will see a 9th pitch. Charlie's in a good rhythm. He's got the bases empty. And that one under the chin, a bad miss, and Voit is aboard for the first time in this series. It's a 2-out walk. The second base on balls allowed by Morton tonight. Cesar Hernandez is your hitter. Before he comes up, here's a quick word from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
Hernandez flied to left. He's trying to extend his 15 consecutive game on base streak tonight. Voit a very short lead at first with 2 outs.
We talked about earlier where Charlie at times can lose feel or lose his mechanics at some point in the game. I'm glad there's 2 outs. I'd like to see him find it here quickly and get out of this inning. Back on track.
So he's missed with 4 in a row. Now the count 3-0 for Hernandez with C.J. Abrams waiting on deck. Back-to-back walks.
Should see a visit from Cranny here.
This is what happened to Charlie out in San Francisco. He had a couple of base runners very quickly, and the stuff all of a sudden got a lot less crisp in a close game. And Cranny out for a visit here with some 2-out trouble in the Washington fourth.
And this is, Kelly did a great report yesterday about Cranny and his ability to read his pitches and know what to say to different guys. It's not always a black and white answer to every problem, but as a person or a player's pitching coach, like you see here, a player's manager, a player's pitching coach has the ability to see what's going wrong with you and have little triggers that is going to get you back on track. I try to teach guys that your job is to learn those things so I don't have to come out, but every now and then you're going to need it to re-establish what the message is.
Well, one way you win 9 straight games at home is you limit damage. The Braves have done an excellent job of that during this long winning streak at home. They've given up just 5 hits with runners in scoring position in the 9 games they've won consecutively here at Truist. And a good way to get in the count. A breaking ball for C.J. Abrams.
There we go. Good visit, Cranny.
The Nats tonight are 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. Those 2 at bats came in the 3rd inning. That one bounces away from d'Arnaud and everybody moves up. So that's a wild pitch, and they're piling up for Charlie over these last 2 innings now. He's up to 69 of them with 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs in the 4th.
Spike to change up. Good action on it. Started it out too low.
Scoreless game. First threat of the night for the Nats. Abrams helped him out. He swung at ball 3. It's an even count.
He goes back to the curve. At times he's hit left-handers with that back foot breaking ball, trying to get swing and miss. Love the action on the curve. Stay on track.
Back foot breaking ball. He hits him. That's the 18th batter Charlie Morton has hit with a pitch this year. Most of them have been left-handed hitters, and instead of strike 3, it's the bases loaded, 2 outs.
And that's probably going to force some action in the bullpen too.
That's that one pitch I was afraid of, because sometimes it's so good, the action on it's so good, instead of starting out middle, he starts it out on the inside part of the plate trying to bury it. And he hits that lefty in the back leg or foot.
So no place to put Ildemaro Vargas. Charlie Morton with that pitch hits his 12th left-handed hitter.
I think at least half of them has probably been in an 0-2 count too. So just exactly what you were talking about, Paul. Just trying to overcook it a little bit too much.
Well, you got to make some pitches now. Bases loaded, 2 outs. All of this trouble with the bases empty and 2 away. 2 walks and a hit batter, and now ball 1 for Ildemaro Vargas. Oh boy, thank you. Even count.
I think that was a makeup call.
That's a big swing from 2-0 to 1-1. Interesting. Curveball away from the left-hand hitter that time, and he's got his man set up. A 30-pitch inning.
That was a futile swing. He could get on the mound and try to throw it again.
He got out of it. 31 pitches for Charlie Morton. Washington loads the bases with 2 outs and cannot break through.
And I'm also excited with the fact that they decided to do a bobblehead, meaning that the fans was excited about the fact of how we play and the way those guys cross home plate.
There's 3 players that have basically told me today of all the bobbleheads, this is the one that means the most to them. They want this one.
Only 3?
Oh, the Waving Wash bobblehead giveaway, an absolute hit at the ballpark tonight. And guys, Wash would be happy for me to report that now that I've polled the entire clubhouse, at the time I hadn't, they all want a Wash bobblehead to go home with, including this guy leading off the inning, who, you know, the way he gets after these guys, they all have to give him a little bit of good grief here and there. And Riley was sure to point out that we know Wash is playing hurt over there at third, right? The rotator cuff, so he doesn't have full range of motion anymore. And Austin wanted to say they should have shortened the arm a little bit. So these guys love it, and I know I can tell the fans enjoy having it, and Wash pretty honored to have it, and also said, hey, I think I might be the only coach that has 2, because he got one in Texas as well.
When he was the manager of the Rangers.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
You know, what's great about that bobblehead too, Kelly, is how much it does look like Ron. You know, some of them aren't exact facial resemblances. This one pretty spot on. As Erasmo Ramirez facing Austin Riley, who popped out his first time. We see it a lot in the game. One team loads the bases, doesn't score. The other one does. Hope that's the case for Atlanta here in the 4th inning. No score. The Mets are trailing Milwaukee 3-0. Opportunity for Atlanta tonight. Off the end of the bat, foul. Now the 2-2 pitch. Right under his knuckles and fouled away. And Ramirez filling in for Patrick Corbin, who got hurt with 2 outs in the 1st inning and had to leave the game. This guy's doing a nice job. He's
really is.
34 pitches.
I mean, you want to get 3 innings. Anything else is a bonus. But 3 innings out of a mid reliever is usually their max.
Riley slowly hit toward Vargas at third. He will throw side saddle and got him by a quarter step. Not an easy play, and Vargas made a nice one to retire Riley for out number 1.
Real nice play. Fielding with 2 hands and making a really quick transition and throw. Riley was actually moving down the line, so I shouldn't say actually, but he was moving down the line. That's that internal clock you said yesterday, Chip. It's unbelievable. These infielders, they just know exactly how much time they have to make a throw.
This team is better since we last saw them.
Yeah, playing a couple of games below 500 over the last 20 games. Not bad for a team that's 45 under for the year. Matt Olson, your hitter, he struck out against Ramirez back in the 1st inning. That was with a inherited 1-1 count for the Washington relief pitcher.
Tell you what Ramirez is guaranteeing himself is that he's a spa day tomorrow for that 12:20 start. come in, get a massage, maybe have some breakfast, some coffee, watch a baseball game, and then fly on to the next city.
Something tells me you've done that a few times.
No.
Swing, high fly ball down the right field line, but he was out in front. 1-2. Washington has Miami next.
Ramirez struck him out on a cutter up and in the first time he faced him. Olsen right there was ready for it.
Season high for Ramirez, 3 1/3 innings and 54 pitches. His next one will be number 40. He's gone 2 2/3 innings with 1 infield hit. As you know, is the at last report team leader in bases on balls. Trying to look and see when the last time he's earned a walk. Take a base runner of any kind here with 1 out. Smoked into right center field. That's down for a base hit. That's better than a walk, and it's a base runner for Atlanta. 1 on, 1 out.
Big difference here. He pulled the ball way foul earlier in that bat. Did a great job keeping his hands back. Having the plan middle of the field is exactly how these guys get back on track, and you've seen Matt do that the last 2 days.
So Jim Hickey will make his way to the mound. The Washington bullpen will go to work here as Atlanta has a 4th inning threat in a scoreless game. Let's step aside quickly for a word from Zaxby's.
Try Zaxby's chicken finger plate with tongue torch, Zax sauce, or any of our sauces.
Hunter Harvey is getting ready. He's got a big arm. And the chop house starting to come alive as Atlanta going through the order for a second time against Ramirez, looking to break through here in game 2. Darno's been one of the hottest Braves hitters. Let's see what he has in store for us. He loves the first pitch, as you know.
2 knocks in last night's game, both to the opposite field, and he hit a ball hard to second base today, so you can see his plan.
How about one into the left field corner or left center here? They shade him around toward right. And he does hammer one toward the gap in left center. That ball is at the track wall, gone! Atlanta strikes first. Nobody ambushes better than Travis d'Arnaud.
Hardly even had the words out of your mouth before he ambushed that first pitch. I thought he was going to try and stay back and just hit a ball the other way, but shows what I know. Great swing.
So Atlanta leads by 2. The Mets trail by 3, and things are getting interesting in Atlanta tonight.
Again, why this lineup is so good. Tonight it's d'Arnaud. Tomorrow it may be Harris. The day before it may be Swanson. Then it's Acuna getting hot. Grissom. You just never get a break, and anybody in this lineup can take you deep, and when they do, this crowd explodes. Fireworks. Love it.
And somehow I don't think that was what Jim Hickey, the pitching coach, had in mind, Peter, after the meeting. It's amazing how often that happens, though.
Strange if that was what he said.
Talk over strategy, and the next pitch ends up costing you a run or two. As Contreras ahead in the count, and another roller out toward Abrams. He'll crow hop and throw a strike for out number 2. Jordan Weems has now gotten up in the Nationals bullpen. A single and a homer gives Atlanta a 2-0 lead. Michael Harris struck out his first time. Another cool stat when the Braves hit a home run in a big league game. They're 50 games over 500 at 83 and 33. D'Arnaud took care of that with his 18th.
And with that one swing of the bat, as you can see, they've made changes to who they were going to bring in already. That changes the whole dynamic of this game. They're a chance if it's a 0-0 game or a 1-0 game. Now with 2-0, they've already sort of thrown the chute. And as a manager now, all you're trying to do is just get as many outs as you can as quickly as possible.
And you give Charlie Morton a breather, and you give him a couple of runs to play with, Peter, after a 31 pitch top of this 4th inning. One ball, one strike.
I'm a pitcher. I like big strike zones, but that was too much.
Serve down the left field line, a 2-strike, 2-out knock for Harris. Big turnaround first, but he'll head back with his first base hit of the game and the 3rd of the inning. Davey Martinez up in the Washington dugout, and he's pondering and now pacing and now climbing the stairs to go get Erasmo Ramirez.
That was an unbelievable swing. Harris goes down and gets the breaking ball off the plate a la Tony Gwynn.
We talk all the time about the adjustments that he's able to make. You saw it just there. A ball off the plate, probably not a strike. Gets called a strike, throws the exact same pitch, the very next pitch, hits it to left.
Ramirez a nice job in relief, 3 innings, but he's given up the game's first 2 runs as the Braves lead by 2. Was hit a 2-run homer for the Braves. That's your score as we continue in this 4th inning. And for every home run hit by the Braves over the next 4 years, Truist will donate $755 to the Braves Foundation's Henry Louis Aaron Fund with a minimum commitment of $1 million. There's your home run total and the amount raised so far. And the Braves, with 2 weeks left, are going to add to that $166,000 mark before this season comes to an end. This is Jordan Weems. He will come on with Harris at first. 2 outs, 2 in for Atlanta. And Robbie Grossman, the next Atlanta hitter.
Check out those 5 games against Atlanta. Let's hope it continues. 5.1 innings and almost a 9 ERA.
Robbie flied out to center in his lone trip to the plate. Weems, the 3rd pitcher of the game for the Nationals after Patrick Corbin got hurt in the 1st inning. First pitch swing and a fly ball hit to right. Lane Thomas has his eye on that, and that retires the side. The Braves hit a home run. They score first. That's often great news. After 4 innings, Atlanta trying to catch the Mets tonight. They lead the Nationals. It's a 2-0 game. ambush master. Again, Washington loaded the bases with 2 outs, didn't score. The Braves answer with his 2-run homer, and now to the 5th we go with a 2-run lead. Victor Robles, the 8th place hitter, will get it started for the Nats. He singled his first time up. Big inning for Charlie Morton. Labored through 31 pitches. Got 2 quick outs, walked 2, hit a batter, and then got Vargas to strike out.
As you said, Chip, the disappointment of the Nationals not scoring with the bases loaded like they had. It's almost exactly the same relief that Charlie now feels getting out of that inning. It's almost you can come back and restart.
Home runs have been the story for the Braves against the Nationals this year. 34 of them in 14 games plus tonight. Against the National staff, and Robles with a big swing and a miss, 7 strikeouts. Good start for Charlie.
Watch the break on this curveball. Looks like it's going to be middle. Incredible downward action. You see him get on top. And he struggled a little bit ending the 4th, coming out looking sharp in the 5th.
Riley Adams struck out his first time up.
It's like he changed his undershirt, went with a sleeveless shirt underneath. I'm not sure whether that has something to do with the sweat, but this is the first time I think I've seen his whole arms exposed.
On the ground, Riley, big hop, got the one he likes, throws low, but Olson's there, 2 outs.
You know, it's late in September. They're talking about maybe going to the pen a little earlier with Charlie, depending on fatigue, depending on the time of year. But he may go out there again. Only 81 pitches.
Well, he got 2 quick outs in the 4th inning. He's got 2 outs here in the 5th, and Lane Thomas the batter. Let's see if he can dispose of the Washington leadoff man whom he struck out in the 3rd inning. Can changing your undershirt make a big difference?
Yes. I'll explain in a second. So if you have a cotton shirt and it gets heavy when you sweat, and sometimes you'll change it up, but to go from one shirt that has sleeves to one that has no sleeves is unusual and is a big difference. You may want to stick with that sleeveless the way this first couple outs have gone.
On the left, that's how Charlie started his first 4 innings. On the right,
our best dressers on the team are Brian Jordan and Peter Moylan. My partner here, he just doesn't miss a wardrobe change. Strong.
and Lane Thomas, I beg your pardon, wants time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Perfect pitch. It's 1-2. Keep momentum in the Braves dugout. Charlie's 1 strike away from doing that. We lead 2-0. The Brewers lead the Mets 3-0 in the 4th. If these scores hold, we'll be tied in the East. And Charlie mows him down in the 5th. He looks like a man reborn. 8 strikeouts through 5 shutout innings. Fifth inning, Braves lead 2-0. A Travis d'Arnaud homer, the scoring blow for Atlanta. Vaughn Grissom will lead off. He's our Yellowwood bringing the lumber feature.
We keep talking about home stats, and why not when they look like this. This season in 16 games, he's hitting .320 with a .924 OPS and 6 extra base hits. Let's get one right here.
Vaughn legged out an infield hit. Ball up the middle. Abrams made a super play. And after a 360 spin, his throw pulled Meneses off the first base bag. As this one's popped up, foul right side, and strike one for Grissom. That third inning hit for Vaughn gets his average back over 300. He's at 303.
We talked about his offensive numbers. I talked to him about defense and how much fun he's having working with Ron Washington before the games on all the drills. And he said, Paul, I have so much to learn. I won't say I'm having fun because I'm learning so much being on top of it. But he's done a great job, not just offensively, but filling in at second base at a new position.
Speaking of new positions, Weems is a Georgia kid out of Columbus. He was drafted as a catcher, didn't start pitching until 6 years ago, and here he is in a big league bullpen. It's not altogether an unusual position change as that's popped up to the right side. This in foul ground handles that. Remember Jason Mott? He's a former catcher who was a relief pitcher, pitched for the Braves during the rebuild years. There have been others too, and Weems part of that big league fraternity.
Kenley Jansen.
Yeah, that's another one.
Imagine seeing that big target behind home plate. Man, he used to throw guys out from his knees too. I didn't know whether it cut from home to second, but he did have a cannon.
Ronald is 0 for 2 tonight. This one hit toward Lane Thomas on the first pitch. And 2 men are out. Yeah, that team that Kenley Jansen played on had Andrelton Simmons and Didi Gregorius on it. That's a pretty good squad.
Pretty good. Talked to Kenley and asked him the biggest adjustment that he had to make from a catcher to a pitcher. And he said, I just want to stop you for a second, tell you how much I miss catching, how much I miss framing the ball, throwing somebody out. It's a sadness to him. Here's a guy going to go in the Hall of Fame as a closer who's still hurting over not being able to be behind the plate.
Dansby 1 for 2 tonight. 2 outs in the Atlanta 5th. Riley Adams asked for time behind the plate. Weems working at a feverish pace. Charlie Morton's through 5 innings with 8 strikeouts. He would start his 3rd trip through the Washington lineup, but Colin McHugh has gotten up.
With 2 outs, and he's just started to roll it over, so I'd imagine it'd be coming in if Charlie gets into some trouble. Doesn't look like he's going to start the inning. And after the last inning Charlie threw, I'd throw him back out there as well.
Absolutely.
That's out of play. Foul right side. Another huge crowd at Truist Park tonight. And 33,000 here for game 1. We've got more than that for the Ron Washington bobblehead. The Braves sitting where they want to sit. We're winning and the Mets are losing.
Weems got good stuff. Fastball at 97, slider at 89. That's closer type stuff.
All these kids auditioning for the 2023 edition of the Nationals, who again have gutted their ball club. It's the bad news at the big league level. The good news is all of those prospects that they got back are very highly regarded. They have 5 prospects in Baseball America's top 100 list. So how quickly they get to the big leagues will tell you how quickly they can become a force in the division again. That's the other, one of the other big questions. The other is who's going to own the team. 1-2 pitch. He is fouled straight back by Swanson. We'll try again. Day game tomorrow. Heard Kelly's report earlier tonight. Bryce Elder will get the start instead of Max Fried. Max will be pushed to Thursday to start our series with the Phillies. Off the end of the bat, little pop up into left, but that's going to hang up nicely for Cesar Hernandez. And we go to the 6th inning. Will it be Morton or McHugh? We'll find out next. Since 2011, and her favorite perk is guaranteed bobbleheads and other A-list exclusive giveaways. Congratulations to Heather Wilson, today's A-list member of the game. She should be very happy tonight with the Ron Washington bobblehead. Hopefully we'll all be happy after Charlie Morton goes through this Nationals attack in the 6th inning. He has struck out 8 through 5.
What a turnaround that last inning was. Took off the sleeves and came out. Great movement on the curveball, and the changeup's back. First pitch changeup there, Paul.
It's been fantastic all night.
And Luis Garcia hasn't timed it yet. He's 0 for 2 and is one of Charlie's 8 strikeouts. By the way, Morton's got 195 punch-outs this year. Make it 196. 9 tonight. And 2 in a row. Good start to inning number 6. 1 out.
Wow. Nice and easy. Outside corner, Fuel 94. The way d'Arnaud caught that, he had to come back across. Not easy to catch.
So Charlie 1 strikeout away from his 25th career double-digit punch-out affair. He's had 5 of them already this year. And he looks like a different man without the undershirt.
Should have been one of your keys to the game.
Line to right. Acuna back, leaps, can't get it. It's over his head. And Joey Meneses is on his way to second. This guy hits everything on the barrel. So the tying run will come to the plate with 1 out.
And now you have a decision to make, because Charlie's handled Luke pretty well today. Walked him and punched him out the first time. Lots of curveballs yesterday. Similar attack today. You have Colin ready if you need him.
It's just the 2nd hit for Washington tonight. Luke Voigt, the batter. And it's been very rare that the Braves have thrown a fastball to this man. Why would you? He's not shown he can handle the breaking stuff. A lot of strikeouts for him. In fact, 5 in 5 at bats. That one, though, lined into center field. Harris comes up with it, and Washington plays it station to station. They're at the corners with 1 out. Voigt's first hit of the series, and I think that will decide things for Brian Snitker. So back-to-back hits for Washington. Here comes Snit. The Nats have runners at first and third. Charlie Morton with 92 pitches, 9 strikeouts will leave with the lead. It is 2-0 Atlanta the lead in game 2.
By your local Ford dealer. Delta Airlines, keep climbing. And by Truist, when you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
Charlie Morton literally and figuratively gave us the shirt off his back in game 2 of the series. 5 1/3 innings with 9 strikeouts. He leaves with runners first and third representing the tying runs, and Colin McHugh will come on and face Cesar Hernandez.
He's been so good this year. Struggled a little bit early on with the 2 cutter and the slider, but he's really dialed them in since the All-Star break. And this is a situation as a reliever that I used to love to come in, pick up your starting pitcher, come and get a couple of big outs.
The double play is in order if McHugh could get a ground ball. That's out of play. It's an even count.
We showed you the great percentage on inherited runners and percentage of scoring. Peter, is that something you paid attention to as a reliever?
For sure. That was one of my main things, was to make sure that other guys' runs didn't score.
Hernandez walked in the 4th inning. That extends his on-base streak to 16 straight games. And he's ahead now, 2 balls and a strike. 5 1/3 for Morton, 3 hits. 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. He hit a batter and threw 92 pitches. Ground ball to Grissom. Gotta hurry. There's a bad throw. It's all the way down the left field line. A run is in, and runners are at second and third. You had a force out for sure, but Grissom's throw sailed on him, and Atlanta's lead in jeopardy now. It's a 2-1 game.
Tough play as he turned quickly, trying to get the double play, rush to throw, sailed on him, arm side. Wish he was going to step to the other direction. Once that second baseman has to go to his left, he has to turn quickly, especially on a double play if he's going to turn it. Again, Grisham just trying to be too quick.
Don't know if you would have gotten 2 on it, but you would have gotten the second out. So they're at second and third, 1 in, 1 out. Fielder's choice E4, I'm sure the scoring. As you cannot assume the double play, you give an RBI to Cesar Hernandez.
Hernandez reaches on a fielder's choice. E4 throwing error. We're going to be
Defense is playing back right now. Surprises me a little bit. I'd love to see them in, try to cut the runner off at home. They're conceding the run at third up the middle. I'm a little greedy.
McHugh with 2 quick strikes. Back to the mound. Looks the runner back. There's a big second out. So Wildemaro Vargas is up. He's the man that struck out with the bases loaded in the 4th. Now he's got him at second and third with 2 outs in the 6th.
PFPs, Peter. Pitchers fielding practice just paid off.
And McHugh get 1 more out. And on the long swing, d'Arnaud might have gotten clipped by the bat. Yep. The reason why the Braves have had such a great September, the relief corps is pitching to a 2.09 ERA. 68 strikeouts in 51 innings pitched. The Pens had a sensational year. As Colin works out of the windup, a 1-1 count. And Vargas looks that low.
Attention media, tonight's attendance is 40,224. It's a sellout.
Another sellout.
224, the 39th sellout of the season.
As you hear the baritone of Mitch George of the Braves Media Relations Department, 40,224 fans are here tonight. On the ground, Grissom's got this one, and his throw to first is perfect.
Great job, Colin McHugh. Wow.
Washington gets one, but not the lead. It's a 2-1 Braves advantage. Sellout crowd in Atlanta tonight for Braves baseball on Valley Sports. Our broadcast is presented by Truist. Kelly Kroll downstairs, Peter Moreland, Paul Bird, Chip Carey upstairs. Gretchen Caney, our producer. Atlanta trying to take game 2 of this series and maybe gain a game on the Mets. It's 2-1 Atlanta with Riley, Olsen, and Travis d'Arnaud coming up. Can't say enough about the job Colin McHugh just did. That's probably would have gotten 1 run, but it could have been a whole lot worse.
Sure could have. Damage control 101 from Colin McHugh. Gets the ball back to him and then makes pitches. He's done that basically all year, especially after he came back after that little IL stint. He's been so good.
Austin Riley is 0 for 2 tonight. And Weems misses upstairs. Ball 1. Milwaukee adding to their lead over the Mets. It's 4-0 in the 5th. We could use some insurance tonight.
Got away with one right there. Riley seeing the ball very well. Home run on the baseball in. Last night, we'll see what happens.
Pitcher's pitch, and Weems got it. 1-2 the count. This kid saved 16 games for Rochester, the Nationals AAA affiliate. That led their entire minor league system. This one right back up the middle, and a long throw to first will retire Riley for out number 1. Nice play by Garcia to get the hop he liked. And Weems has done good work. He's set down 5 in a row.
I said it earlier in the game that sometimes when you have a pitcher come out in the first inning, it can completely throw the other team out of whack a little bit. The whole plan's gone. You're right, Jed. We need to add on here.
Matt Olson has singled and scored tonight. This wasn't to be a bullpen game for the Nationals, but that's what it's exactly turned into after Corbin left. That's what the Brewers are throwing at the Mets tonight too. They're games that just feel like they have so little rhythm as a result of all those pitching changes. But this one out of necessity for the Nats.
Pull the string.
2-strike pitch coming for Matt. And he waves and misses. And that is strikeout number 1 for Weems. d'Arnaud, the hitter, he broke a scoreless tie with our Zaxby's indescribably good play.
Got a sinker that came back, tried to be away and came back over the middle in, and he got barreled straight to it. That's as long a home run as he's hit in a long time.
Well, he's hit 18 of them now. And he wasn't going to see one down the middle on the first pitch this time up.
18 home runs. Contreras has 19. Unbelievable both these catchers have done. The fact that they can replace each other, give each other a break, keep fresh legs going into the postseason. And you don't lose anything defensively either with either one.
And that's the biggest part of the story, I think, after Contreras struggled so mightily behind the plate last year. Much improved back there. And an all-star here in 2022. d'Arnaud's had good luck against the Nationals pitching staff. 14 hits, 3 homers now. Those 14 hits have come in just 8 games.
It's unusual. Usually as a catcher who transitions into a pitcher, you're only going to have 1 or 2 pitches. He's shown us 4 tonight. Slider, curveball, 4-seam, changeup last at bat.
It's unusual for a relief pitcher. Tough enough to keep 1 or 2 pitches on time in a bullpen.
You were fastball slider, correct?
Yeah, sinker slider. I tried to throw a changeup for 14 years and maybe threw a handful that did what they were supposed to do.
Full count pitch for the Braves catcher. And popped up behind home plate. And the Delta Club seats. And d'Arnaud will see another one. Kind of a plodding pace to tonight's game in a 2-1 score. Washington has stranded 6 base runners. Atlanta's left 3. We've out-hit them 5-3 tonight. And a little country hardball from Weems, 96, and d'Arnaud was able to foul that straight on back.
Good fastballs come out of Florida, Texas, California, and now Georgia.
Foul back again. d'Arnaud will see a 9th pitch. That away, Travis.
Matthew Kaminsky, Braves organist playing, staying alive. He's always on top of it. Best in the game.
I think that's because Peter's here. Everybody likes the Bee Gees, right? 3 balls, 2 strikes. Line drive, right center. Robles got a great jump and makes a tremendous diving catch. He doesn't catch that. That's an extra base hit. Instead, it's the end of the Atlanta 6th. Victor Robles takes away 2 and maybe more. It's a 2-1 game as we head to the 7th. What a play. Fun to scoreboard watch when you're winning. That's what the Braves are doing. Let's head to Milwaukee, where the Brewers enjoyed a 2-0 lead. Willy Adames added to that with a base hit to left. They're in the middle of the 6th inning. The Brewers try to help out the Braves in game 2 of that series. Up in Wisconsin, it's 4-0. Here it's 2-1 Atlanta. If the Brewers win and the Braves win, we'll be tied in the East. Colin McHugh back to work for the 7th inning. He's got the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up. It starts with Robles, who made a tremendous diving catch.
My partner Chip Carey talking about the NL East race with the Mets. In case you missed it earlier in our broadcast, Spencer Strider will miss a start, and that should set he and Fried up to pitch against the Mets. I got to believe that's going to be a huge series.
You think?
But like Brian Snitker said, we got to take it one day at a time, one game at a time. Trying, but it's hard not to look ahead.
Two balls and a strike for Robles. And popped him up right at Matt Olson. He'll have no trouble with that. One man down. And here's Riley Adams, the catcher. Let's cut to the chase. Speaking of this Braves-Mets race in the Eastern Division, you don't want to miss the remaining games on the schedule. They are dwindling down to a precious few. We'll have them for you on Bally Sports South and Bally Sports Southeast. Cut to the chase is presented by Texas Pete, sauce like you mean it. We are chasing the Mets. Lined over short, and Adams has a 1-out base hit. His first of the series, and he represents the tying run with Lane Thomas coming up. Fast runner, might be tough to double him up, but we'll see. Thomas has had trouble making contact tonight. He has struck out twice. We are in the 7th. These games are so fun to watch. There's so many twists and turns, but I got to tell you, I'm chewing my nails down to the cuticles because they're so close. One ball, no strikes. Pete Alonso has just hit a 3-run homer for New York. They've got a 1-run game in Milwaukee. It's now 4-3. Lane Thomas with an even count. That's tipped and caught, even count.
I've spoken about it before, but I love McHugh. He's got those long arms. When you have long arms as a pitcher, you have to start quick and keep them going. He has great arm speed through his delivery, no hitch, no hesitation, and that's why that 89, 90 to 92 mile an hour fastball is so sneaky.
Chase it. And now you got a big pitch, full count. You've got the catcher at first. Don't know if the Nats would risk running Adams, especially with Lane Thomas striking out twice already tonight. Got Garcia waiting on deck in a one-run game. Braves lead it 2-1. Runner leads, not going, and popped up out of play. Again, Adams leads, and the McHugh pitch. Struck him out over the inside corner. Lane Thomas frustrated. 10 Nationals have been struck out tonight. That is Collins' first.
The backup slider, one of the best pitches in baseball. 81 miles an hour, supposed to be away. Darno, nice job framing it. Got the call.
Here's Garcia. He struck out a couple of times. After McHugh disposes of him, we will send you to the stretch. That's presented by Georgia Natural Gas. Trevor, Nick, and Gordon will talk about how the Braves have manhandled the Nationals to this point in 2022. Atlanta's 11-3 against them. They'll break down how and why with one more out.
He's got him set up for what I think is one of my favorite pitches Colin throws. He throws that big 0-2 curveball that he hasn't thrown at all in the 25 pitches he's thrown so far. Good opportunity to break it out and get a strikeout and get us into the 7th inning, get us to the bottom of the 7th.
Here comes the 0-2. He struck him out looking. Colin McHugh continues his great work for this Atlanta bullpen, which has been outstanding in September. We preserve a 2-1 lead as we send you to the stretch.
The Stretch is brought to you by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
Welcome into the stretch, presented by Georgia Natural Gas. Trevor Scales, Nick Green, Gordon Beckham outside kicking it on the battery with you. And to say that the Braves have dominated the Nationals this season at last, frankly, would be an understatement. Nicky, it continues today, and we hope it continues on the other side of the stretch.
Well, there's some of those teams that just aren't quite as good as you are, and this is kind of the case. The Braves have been really good the last couple of years. We know that. But the Washington Nationals haven't been that good. The Braves have taken advantage, and full advantage, of the starting pitching of the Nationals coming in to this game today in this season. A 7.86 ERA for the starters against the Braves. They're just swinging the bat so well and absolutely crushing the Nationals, Gordon.
The Braves have got to take care of teams that are at the bottom of the division. If you want to win the division, you have to take care of business against the teams that are at the bottom, like, you know, Miami, the Nationals. They've got tonight and then 4 more games against this team, and they've got a chance to really do some damage against them so that they can hunt down those Mets.
Look, that graphic you see there is entering today, so quick update to it. 34 home runs and now 15 games and counting. We got some more Braves baseball on the other side of a quick word from our friends at Georgia Natural Gas.
Ready to play ball with a new gas company? Georgia Natural Gas knocks it out of the park with simple service and great rates. And when it comes to helping the environment, GNG's Greener Life program makes it as easy as paying your gas bill. Sign up with a home team today at GNG.com.
Great job, fellas, breaking it down for us as we head to the home 7th. 2-1. Atlanta has the lead. The Braves will have their bottom half of the order coming up. Contreras, Harris, Grossman, and Grissom. And Hunter Harvey, as we said, a guy that's got a big arm and a good strikeout to walk rate. We'll try to keep it 2-1 for Washington now.
Yeah, he warmed up early in the game and then was replaced by Weems. Now he's back out there again. 1-run game.
Weems a nice job.
Really
nice. 3rd innings, zeros across. And while Harvey continues to warm up and Contreras gets set to hit, let's step aside for a word from Marietta Toyota.
In Marietta, businesses come and go, and some remain and grow. Visit us at MariettaToyota.com to learn why it's always better in Marietta.
Contreras 0 for 2. He's got 8 hits in a 5-game hit streak that he'll try to extend right here against Hunter Harvey. Remember Brian Harvey? This is his son.
Absolutely. A teammate on the Braves in '97 learned the changeup from his dad, Brian Harvey. He had a great split finger, so I tried to imitate that, but I didn't have a good enough arm, Peter, so it came out like a change.
No balls and a strike for William, who guides that one just foul. Eli wisely olayed that one. And it's 0-2.
Are you upset because you didn't have a changeup?
I mean, I tried so hard to throw one, and it wasn't like through lack of trying or trying different grips and I even tried different arm angles. I tried everything. I think I would have benefited from the technology we have now and being able to see how other guys rotated the ball and relied on spin.
And Contreras couldn't catch up. He's retired for out number 1. Michael Harris will be the hitter. Man, a great at bat last time up, earned him his first hit of the night and our landmark player comparison honors.
Check out this 70-31 record with Michael Harris, 20-24 without him, and I still remember the days where he was just coming up here to shore up our defense in center field, and he's certainly done way more than that.
So going back to our discussion we had last night, 70-31 with Harris. Spencer Strider is over 200 strikeouts in rotation and pitching every 5th day. I repeat, have you thought or changed your thoughts on who the Rookie of the Year is?
I can be convinced either way. I'm not certainly set in my ways, or I just think that if Michael can continue to do what he's done to this point for the rest of the season, if there's any drop off, obviously that's going to allow Spencer to maybe come up and take first place, but it's just, there's just so hard to compare a position player and a pitcher.
I think that's very fair. How do you do that? Strider into the rotation. That's a lot of at-bats you see as a starter. It's a big difference maker. Harris, since his debut, he leads the Braves in runs and average. 3rd in hits behind Swanson, Riley, 2nd in doubles, and on and on. Strider comes up, sets records in strikeouts, changes the team on the hill.
Well, I listen to Hall of Fame players when they describe young guys when they get to the major leagues. Chipper watches all of our games. He's watching tonight. And after Harris's base hit, he texted me and said, those are the kinds of hits that future batting champions pick up. That's good enough for me.
He would know.
And he's worked himself into a 3-1 count. And he takes ball 4, and there's a threat. You know how good he is on the base paths.
Wow. To give more onto the discussion, and I'll let it go. Harris, Baseball Reference, higher WAR than Strider, but if you go to Fangraphs, F-WAR, Strider has a higher WAR than Michael Harris. So even the new metrics are confused on which player has greater value.
Well, we're blessed with an embarrassment of riches, having them both on a Braves roster. And now you've got Michael and his blazing speed at first, 17 of 18 in stolen bases, and he's got a good lead. And Robbie Grossman takes a strike.
About the camera work right there, following our discussion. I like it.
Another quarter step on that lead. Not going, and Robbie takes another one. 0-2. After Grossman, Vaughn Grissom is scheduled versus Hunter Harvey. As we showed you, doesn't walk many guys, so take advantage of that mistake in a one-run game. Pushed him off the plate. That was thrown with some anger at 99.
Really impressed with some of these Nats arms. I don't know at 100 miles an hour you're playing the pole.
Well, if you're late and make contact, got about 65, 70 feet to play with opposite way for Grossman here. Instead, it's ball 2 in the dirt.
A lot of times with the younger guys, that's the thing that they struggle with, is the off-speed stuff with the runner on base, because you have to think about being so much quicker to the plate, especially with someone like Michael Harris on first base. Fastballs aren't a problem timing them up. It's the off-speed stuff that you see struggles.
Reel him in, Robbie. The chop house is waiting for you. The pitch instead to first. This is the first time these two have matched up in a big league game. And now we're ready. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No, we're not. I'd worry about Michael too. They go to the 7th in Milwaukee. Brewers 4, Mets 3. We're in the 7th in Atlanta. The Braves with a 1-run lead, 2-1. The pitch. Little pop into shallow left. That's going to carry out to Hernandez, who has it. Harris back to first, and Vaughn Grissom will be your hitter with 2 out. Grissom an infield hit. He's got a ton of room right center if he can gap one that way. The pitch. Well, this dynamic young duo of Harris and Grissom. Hope you enjoyed the interview they did together out on the West Coast. That was a blast. They call themselves the Troublemakers.
I'd imagine if they had nicknames back when BMAC and Frenchie came to the game, they would have had that similar T-shirt made up.
There's no question. Right there, a strike evens the count. Vaughn's such an engaging kid, 1,000,000-megawatt smile.
Personality to spare.
No question.
Holy cow, every time I have a conversation with him, I leave there smiling and laughing.
Very likable.
Harris leaning. The pitch is way outside. Heck, why can't you have fun? You're 21 and you're in the major leagues on the world championship team. Grissom would love to get on and bring Ronald up with a chance for a crooked number. But the Braves are down to their last 7th inning out. Good pass at that, but fouled away. And it's 2-2. Harris not running in this spot because Harvey throws so hard.
I see a couple of times where he's been trying to time it. He's just done a really good job so far of mixing in his timing, slide step every now and then, picking off a couple of times. You could see that he almost timed him last time. He had a little stutter step and then went back to the bag.
Now he's going 2-2 pitch. It's low. The throw to second is high. And Harris has easy pickings, a stolen base. He's in scoring position and the count is full. Steal number 18.
Great jump off the high leg kick. In there easy, even with a perfect throw.
And I like him using the oven mitt, lifting it as he goes into the base versus fingers down. Great technique.
On the ground, deep short. Abrams long throw off stride. Throw off the bag. Everybody's safe. Another infield hit for Vaughn Grissom. And we've got him at the corners and a 2-out rally. And yes, Ronald will be coming up.
Got a fastball in, got enough on it to hit it out to Abrams. He made a decent play. The athleticism of these two young troublemakers makes a real difference down the bottom of that lineup. Speeds everybody up.
Right on, and you young hitters pay attention to that. 99 miles an hour in, and he pulls it in the hole. To get to the big leagues now, you have to hit a good fastball.
So Jim Hickey will strategize with Hunter Harvey. They have a base open. It's second base, but then you'd have to face Dansby Swanson, who's been the Braves' best hitter with 2 outs and runners in scoring position of late.
And now a quick message from Landmark.
To celebrate our 40th anniversary, Landmark announces 40 days to save. Nobody beats the Giant. Nobody.
Always the best deal. Always.
Sellout crowd wants to see a little insurance, and Ronald will be the man who tries to provide it. Acuna is 0 for 3.
10 o'clock Tuesday. School's in session. Stadium's full. We're chopping. We're loud.
Outside corner, strike 1. A walk and an infield hit for the Braves. That's the 7th inning rally. Over third foul, and Ronald's got some work to do here. It's 0-2. A.J. Minter will be the next Atlanta pitcher. He's warming in the bullpen. The Nationals will have their 3, 4, 5 men coming up. Dave Martinez shorthanded tonight after Patrick Corbin got hurt in the first inning. No update on his status, but he was pointing to his back when he left after throwing a pitch in the opening inning. Erasmo Ramirez, Weems, et al. Have come on and done nice work.
It's 4 straight 4-seam fastballs. I'm pretty sure he's not going to want to throw a breaking ball because we've got runners at first and third. He doesn't want to bounce anything, and he hasn't had the confidence to throw it with a runner on first.
That's why it's so important to have a good defensive catcher in these situations, especially.
The pitch. Took a slider, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Keibert Ruiz is the main man for the Nationals. Behind the plate. But we haven't seen him in this series. 2 balls, 2 strikes. First and third, 2 out. On the ground, Abrams will glove. He'll throw in a hurry to first, and they get Acuna by a step. And that retires the side. The Braves strand a pair in the 7th. To the 8th we go. It's 2-1 Atlanta.
Top 8 we go. It is 2-1 Braves. And for the best coverage in the game, let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. Kevin Lyles, the team photographer, and his crew had all the cameras, lights, ready to go for the official team photo day today. Players, coaches, training staff, you can see them all suited up, lined up, and showing off those pearly whites today. Even Ozzie Albies out there casting it all. Big ol' smile. He's been around in the clubhouse, guys. Not expected to make the next road trip, but when it comes to the team photo, I thought it was interesting to hear Brian Snitker say he has every single one saved from the first days of joining the Braves organization until now. Has them all saved, even likes to look back from time to time. But Peter, Birdie, you got all of yours, all of your team photos? Where do you keep them?
Prior to 2014, I don't keep any of them because there's been a vast change to me. So
fair enough. Fair enough. Okay.
Okay. You just got to look at. You've evolved.
I've evolved. Glow up, as they say.
Yeah, you haven't changed. You've evolved.
That's right.
A.J. Minter is on to pitch. Joey Meneses, the batter. Birdie, how about you?
You know, I've got a couple, but no, I don't keep all of them. And now that I'm older, I kind of wish I did. That's a cool story. I could see how I've evolved over the years. I went the other direction. I think you got a little better looking. Not so with me.
Minter has 2 strikes on Meneses, and this ball is hit in the air to center, but no carry to it. And AJ continues his good work. He gets out number 1 in the Washington 8th inning. Rainy start to the proceedings in Atlanta, but it's turned out to be a beautiful 80-degree night. Kind of humid here in late September, but sellout crowd, as you see on our Xfinity Live Look cam, as the Braves and Nats play the middle game of this series. We lead by a run. The Brewers lead by a run. A 1-game deficit is at stake in the East tonight. Here's Voit. He'll turn around and bat against Minter. Takes slow. 1 ball, no strikes. Voit might turn around and try to turn around his series. He has picked up just 1 hit and has struck out 5 times.
That pitch right there has changed AJ Minter. He has worked on that so hard. The changeup, it's become such an effective pitch to right-hander hitters. You couple that with that cutter that he can throw in at any point. There's just no way you can lock in to try and get a base hit.
1 ball, 1 strike. Used to say if Billy Wagner had the fastball slider combination, if he ever had a changeup and threw it, it wouldn't be fair. It's kind of the same thing with Minter. That cutter curveball, now something to neutralize the right-hand batters.
Wags would even work on it out in the outfield. He'd try and throw that changeup, and it would be really good when he's playing catch.
Strike 3. Boy, the Nats are taking a lot of third strikes these last couple innings. McHugh struck out back-to-back hitters looking. Now Voit takes strike 3, and he has whipped 6 times in the series.
He has been frustrated all series. 96 on the black, received well. He's lived there, so he's going to get that call. AJ Minter has such a good cutter that he bores into righties. You have to be ready for it. Voit got caught looking in, and he was frozen.
Cesar Hernandez with the bases empty. Well, you can see why the Braves have a chance to do what they did last year. They have overwhelmingly good starting pitching. They have a very deep and experienced bullpen that isn't just a matchup bullpen. They have 3 or 4 options of guys who can close for you. And look, the way the playoff schedule sets up, there aren't that many off days early on. That's going to be important. Plus, this group won a World Series. They've been through the wars before.
I've said this before, I'll say it again. Shout out to my buddy Peter Moreland and other relievers, because when you have a subpar pen and you give away a lot of late inning losses, that really zaps that locker room, takes the strength out of you. Conversely, if you're a starter, you know you just got to go 5, 6, 7, turn it over to a fantastic pen. It's huge.
Right off the end of the bat foul. I remember a couple of years ago, Bryce Harper was bemoaning that with the Nationals. He said, as a hitter, we feel like we have to win the game 2 or 3 times. It's tough enough to do it once. It really hasn't been an issue for Brian Snitker's squad this year. They get the lead late. Things are looking good. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Another game with playoff implications is in Philadelphia. They've got a football game at Citizens Bank. Toronto 14, Philly 10. Philly's hanging on to a wild card spot. We'll see them next. The 1-2 pitch again is a base hit to left. So the tying run is on. Hernandez reaches for the 3rd time in the game. That's his first hit. And C.J. Abrams will be the batter. Limited amount of suites and hospitality areas are now available for booking for potential playoff games at Truist Park. Space is accommodating. 20 to 150 fans are currently available, but they're going fast. For all the information, you can request that by going to braves.com/hospitality, and we look forward to seeing you at Truist Park for the playoffs. Bad news in Milwaukee. Francisco Lindor, he just hit a grand slam, and the Mets have taken a 7-4 lead. Brewers led that one 4-zip. C.J. Abrams pops up the first pitch, foul ground. Riley has room. He's got that, and the inning is over. All the Braves can do is take care of their business. They're doing that tonight. It's 2-1. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and our friends at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are truly miracle workers. Tonight through Wednesday, you can go to choa.org/BravesKids and buy one of 1,500 mystery signed baseballs at $125 each. They're signed by past and current Braves players. All the proceeds from this offer go to supporting Children's Healthcare of Atlanta's cancer and blood disorder patients. For more information or to purchase a mystery ball, visit choa.org/BraveKids.
I tell you what, that is a really, really good cause. And I said this last night, I'm going to say it again. The feeling you get when you go and visit those kids, it's just so overwhelming, and you get such a good perspective on life. And to know that you've bought one of those baseballs and you can look at it every time and know exactly where it come from and who it benefited is just going to be such a wonderful thing.
Very unfortunate, too, that there's been a 17% rise in our new pediatric cancer diagnosis over the last 5 years. That's unfortunate. Would love to see that number go in the opposite direction.
So your dollars might help do exactly that. So we thank you for taking part. As Dansby Swanson leads off the Atlanta 8th. Kyle Finnegan. Seen him a lot. This guy's got a big arm.
Seems to be a theme out of that Nats bullpen at the moment.
This guy facially reminds me of Scott Erickson, former Baltimore Oriole, Minnesota Twin.
Slightly looser pants, if you remember.
The high socks, the black glove he put in front of his face.
It's over but low from Finnegan. 18 games, 9 earned runs allowed to the Braves from Mr. Finnegan. But we won't see as often next year. Remember, the new schedule means you'll only have 12 divisional games against all of your opponents. With the new schedule, we'll see all the American League teams either home or away.
Do you like that?
Love it. Long overdue. And I think it'll make the divisional games all that more important. If you want to win your division, you won't have as many opportunities if you get off to a bad start. Now to play right side by Swanson. From a bigger standpoint, I think it's great that we'll see all the other stars from the other league, just like the series in Seattle.
Well, when Ohtani came here and got to pitch, that game was like a playoff game. It was electric and a blast to see.
And the fans in the other league get to see our guys either on TV or in person every year.
For me, it's about the teams that make playoffs. You're going to get the best of the best that makes the playoffs, because you're not going to see the teams in a weaker division win 100 games and get bounced in the first round.
Great point.
It seems fundamentally fairer too if you, like this year, if you have the fortune of playing the American League Central in interleague play as opposed to having to go through the National League East, that's a big advantage. So you do see everybody at least one time, which, while not perfect, certainly better. But that's next year. We're worried more about what happens the rest of the way this year. Is Atlanta trying to repeat as world champs? It's been over 2 decades since that's happened in our sport, which tells you how hard it is to do it once, much less twice. Nationals won it in 2019. The Dodgers in 2020. In the COVID year, the Braves did it last year. Who carries the trophy home this year? Well, there are a lot of really good teams that will stake their claim in a couple of weeks. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Driven toward right field. Lane Thomas going back. That ball carries. That ball is gone.
This team hits a fastball in better than Dansby Swanson. I think he's at a best when he is driving the fastball away to opposite field, not just pulling the baseball. That's an opposite field homer off 99 miles an hour.
With 2 strikes again, Birdie. Behind in the count, 1-2. He just never is out of an at bat. He's never out of position. You said that Brian Grissom's a baseball player. He's learning from one of the best I've seen right now this year. He's been unbelievable.
So the Braves have now hit 35 home runs against the Nationals, and they are closing in on an all-time franchise record for most home runs against a opponent in regular season play. The 1957 Milwaukee Braves hit 38 homers against Cincinnati. We got 4 games left with these guys. And they're only 3 away from tying that franchise mark here in 2022.
And with 1 swing, the pen gets a little bit more breathing room.
Kenley's up.
Excellent.
What was he doing there? Did you see that?
He's checking his hip, so he makes sure that he's reminding himself not to fly open with that front hip.
He also took the baseball, Peter, and was kind of gesturing with it to whoever was catching him in the bullpen. Was that
maybe just to tell him which way it's going to move?
Just gestured a sinker right there. Cutter was back on track the last couple. That's his pitch, and that's what we'll be looking for.
It's good to know he knows where it's going. That's job number 1.
Yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes for Riley. A Swanson leadoff homer in the 8th extends the Braves lead. It's a 3-1 game. The Mets and Astros clinched playoff spots yesterday. If the Brewers fall to the Mets tonight and we win tonight, the Braves will also clinch a playoff spot. And we need 3 outs to hold up our end of the bargain tonight. The pitch. And Riley didn't get it. Nice pitch from Finnegan. Austin is 0 for 4 and 1 out. So here's Matt Olson. He's 1 for 3. I don't know if Kelly can hear us downstairs. She was in the locker room today knowing the possibilities here tonight. Well, we're hoping the Mets lose tonight. If Milwaukee wins and the Braves win, you clinch a playoff spot. Where's the pitch to Matt? Kelly, are there any plans for any kind of a celebration should the Braves make it to postseason play at the end of tonight's play with about 2 weeks left?
My understanding is that it will be a slightly subdued, maybe toast or so, but certainly plenty more work, lots more work to be done.
Yeah,
for
bigger
this,
fish to fry,
team.
right?
Yeah, certainly. But you know, with picture day and all, guys, I won't lie, it was catching up with a few guys, so that's about all I have to send up your way. But I'll get you that, Chip. By tomorrow, I will let you know.
I want to know what the celebration's like after the game.
Just kind of hoping that the Mets over-celebrated a little bit last night. Week-long celebration.
That's when you know you're really good. Ho hum. We made the playoffs again.
Matt's down on strikes, 2 away. And I think that speaks to what the Braves and Mets are looking forward to come playoff time. Look, getting in, it's a step. That's what Steve Cohen, their owner, said. The Braves would tell you the same thing. It's a step. Now the more difficult part of the journey begins, advancing against the best in the game, and that man's team has done it before. Don't know who will play. Don't know when we'll play.
Just got to get in.
That's it. As Travis d'Arnaud is the hitter. d'Arnaud, a 2-run homer tonight. And that's in for a strike.
I remember last year the Braves didn't get a lot of credit because they didn't have the 100-win season. It was talked that the NL East was weak. But my goodness, that playoff run last year, they were by far the best team, and they were the hottest, clicking on all cylinders.
Well, that's the beauty of the playoffs, right? Just get in the tournament. You don't know what's going to happen. And yes, a lot of things broke the Braves' way in postseason play, right? Devin Williams broke his hand. No Scherzer, etc. for the Dodgers. And then the Braves just got hot and never stopped taking advantage of those opportunities.
The psychological advantage of beating the Dodgers last year, I think, is going to be massive.
They know they can do it. Now, will they? Well, only time will tell, but a big insurance run makes things a little easier in the 9th inning. If there is such a fate, 3-1 Atlanta. Dansby Swanson ties his franchise record for RBIs as a shortstop. Number 88 left the ballpark. 2 homers for Atlanta tonight. 2-run lead for Atlanta tonight as we go to the 9th. The Braves are excited to announce the opening of a new retail location in the Battery, Atlanta. The Final Out by the Braves Clubhouse store is now open between Baseballism and Burn on Battery Avenue. This store features World Series championship apparel and novelties, as well as discounted merchandise in all categories. Come visit in person and follow at Braves Retail on Instagram and Twitter for more information. That's why Gretchen Caney's the best producer in the business. The Final Out in the Battery. Kenley Jansen looking to get the final out in Game 2, win the series, and put a little pressure on the Mets in Milwaukee tonight.
38 games against Washington, 21 out of 22 saves, and a 167-0. Look at that. Like you said, Bertie, the cutter's the important pitch.
Ildemaro Vargas will lead off. And he tries to bunt. This one over the mound, and Kenley will try a glove flip. And all hands are safe. So that brings the tying run to the plate. Smart play.
I'm not even sure how Kenley was able to get to this ball first. Now we see it. Yeah, that was his only chance, was to try and glove it. Ooh, that's a mismatch there.
Yeah.
Vaughn, you might want to get out of the way.
Safety trying to tackle a tight end. Careful.
And now George Poulos is out to make sure Kenley's all right. Already had one pitcher get hurt tonight. That was Patrick Corbin. Wonder if Kenley tweaked something as he tried to make that play on a bunt.
It's just not something that you're expecting to do on the first pitch. Having to change direction so quickly. He's a big man.
This is every manager's nightmare for a contending team, right? A tweak of something or other, and the ripple effect that can have, not just for the player, but the rest of the team. And Kranitz is getting Tyler Matzik up. I'm not sure they're going to let Kenley continue here.
Looks like they will.
I think Matzik's going to just start throwing just in case.
Just in case.
It's a good sign, too, that Jansen only needed one pitch. The Philly was okay. I don't like the base hit, but I did like the action on the cutter. It was very good. Just one of those unusual base hits where you got jammed on the bunt, and it worked out.
So Victor Robles will be the hitter. He represents the tying run. It's a 3-1 game.
How important is that run now?
Let's see if Washington tries to run here. That's one thing that Kenley's long delivery gives him trouble with, controlling the running game.
With that insurance run, though, it allows him to really focus on just the hitter.
Big lead. Not going. And another bunt try. Olsen can't handle that. Back-to-back bunt hits. If Matt gloves that cleanly, they get the force play. But he couldn't. And Washington now has 2 on, nobody out.
It's so rare to even see a bunt these days, let alone 2 in a row. Definitely a sneak attack by the Nats. Are they going to do it a third time?
I was just going to say, don't be surprised if you see it again right here. I think they're just trying to get Kenley to field the ball. They're trying to keep it away from the infielders and trying to make Kenley field his position.
Palacios.
Reaches on a fielder's choice. Vargas safe at second on E3.
Whoa, they're going to say E3 on that play for Olsen.
That's a tough error.
Fielder's choice E3. So the Braves have made 3 errors tonight. And now Josh Palacios, who debuted with the Blue Jays last year, is up with 2 on and nobody out. He shows bunt. And look at how hard Matt Olson crashed.
And you could see that coming with the pinch hitter walking up to the plate, hitting 194. Riley's got to stay at third. Kenley's got to cover the line.
Once again, foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's not bunting for a hit. He's trying to move the runners to second and third here.
Right.
And the Nationals do have 18 sacrifice bunts this year. They're built that way. The Braves don't have a single one.
You see it a lot with the Cubs too. You sort of have to play the game that you've been dealt.
1-1 count.
It may still be on here.
I think it will be.
If you're the Nationals, the last thing you want here is to take the bunt off and have a ground ball double play. So very least 2-strike bunt attempt. If he strikes out, still got 2 chances.
And it doesn't have to be perfect down the line. You're just trying to get it in that direction, make Kenley make a play because Riley has to hold. You don't want to bunt to the first base side where Olson's crashing.
No bunt and off the plate. 2-2. Vargas at second, Robles at first. There is nobody out. Palacios did not tip his hand. He did not show that he was bunting with that pitch. Or at least that move by Jansen to second rather than the pitch. And look, Dave Martinez respecting the game. He's trying to play the role of the spoiler here in Atlanta. But a swing and a miss is out number 1. Palacios cannot advance the runners.
Good cutter up and into the lefty. This is why I like the bunt. No one advances. Jansen's ball's moving, which is what we want to see. Can he get out of it right here?
Lane Thomas has the hat trick. 3 strikeouts. He's also walked. Again, fast runner, tough man to double up. You have a 2-run lead. When Kenley's had his issues, guys, he has not been able to get the ball down. That's a good sign, too, I think. That last pitch. Both runners go, and it's fouled back. Oh, there's a break.
That is, I mean, Kenley was already coming up and doing the slow leg kick anyway. That's a really tough decision to swing there by Lane.
You got to hold up when they get that kind of a jump.
So Thomas fouls off a pitch that might have earned the Nats a double steal. He's down to his last strike. Two bunts, a strikeout. And now an 0-2 pitch.
Yes.
2 outs. 4 strikeouts for Lane Thomas.
Another cutter with that. The movement's back. That's the kind of thing that's been missing for 2 weeks.
Not only is it moving, but it's moving late. That's the Jansen we know and love. I don't care if it's 91 or 95. When you get late action on that cutter, the hitters are telling you how good it is when they swing right through it.
14 Nationals have struck out in this game. Luis Garcia has whiffed 3 times. 2 on, 2 outs. Braves by 2 in the 9th. Don't want to face Meneses in this 9th inning, as hard as he's hit the ball already in the series. He's on deck. Pitches for Kenley in this inning, but he has had to work very hard with those 12 pitches. A 2-0 count. And a shot to right field, a base hit. That's going to score a run. Streaking around toward third is Robles. And the Nationals aren't dead yet. It's a 3-2 game. And you do have to face Mr. Meneses here in the 9th inning.
Got his hands inside on the cutter. Pulled it out to Ronald. Run was going to score. Now we've got first and third. Now the trouble is the go-ahead run can make it to second base, and you've got 2 runners in scoring position.
Yeah, look, it's no secret. In Kenley's career, he has allowed 93 of 100 men to steal successfully against him. And now you've got Joey Meneses up. He's doubled and scored. He has 5 hits in the series. So he has put the ball in play consistently here. The tying run is at third with 2 outs.
I like the righty-righty matchup.
Be careful with the first pitch. Peter, you had a long delivery to the plate with your motion. How does having that runner at first affect you?
That was the one thing that I needed to change so quickly when I came over here. Was I had to learn how to not only slide step with a fastball, but you had to throw other pitches with the slide step as well.
Let's see if Jansen uses one here with a 1-0 count. Runner at first holds. And center cut. There is action in the Braves bullpen. Jackson Stevens is playing catch.
With the way this inning's gone, if they get to 2 strikes, don't be surprised if you see a delayed steal or something crazy.
Runner at first goes. Jansen lets him take second, and the pitch is high, ball 2. So now the go-ahead run is in scoring position for the Nationals. 2 balls and a strike. And Atlanta will now walk Meneses, and you've got Voit coming up. I wouldn't pitch to this guy either, but here's your choice. Meneses, who hasn't struck out in the series, or Voit, who has struck out 6 times, and there's no place to put him in a 1-run game. So the Braves have played long ball. The Nats are playing small ball tonight. But they're still down a run.
This is what we signed up for right here. Great baseball all the way till the end.
There are no secrets as to what Luke Voit is trying to do. No balls, 1 strike.
You can see the way d'Arnaud is receiving the baseball, how late that cutter is breaking to the left. Not easy to catch.
That's important with a fast runner at third base. Robles. Fly ball center field, but that's going to be playable. Money Mike is there, and the Braves win. Little drama in the ninth, but the Braves win the series. 3-2, your final score.
Charlie Morton was good enough to give us a chance to win, which he's done so often this year. Two great pitching performances by Colin McHugh, and I got to hand it to Kenley Jansen. After those first two plays, to have the training staff come out, check on you, and be able to come back and get those outs, that's why you go out and get a closer like Kenley Jansen with the back of the baseball card that he has.
Braves love playing at home. That continues. Way to go, crowd. Everybody was into it till the end. Dansby Swanson, 2 hits. Darno, 1 big home run with 2 RBIs on the night. Fantastic.
It's a 10-game home winning streak for the Braves. Charlie Morton earns his 9th win. Kenley Jansen his 36th save. And tomorrow afternoon we go for a 3-game sweep with Bryce Elder on the mound, wrapping things up. Our coverage will start at 11:30 on Bally Sports South. What a night in Atlanta. The Braves try to keep pace with the Mets. They do so. A 3-2 final victory for Kelly Kroll, Peter Moylan, Paul Bird, and our great crew. I'm Chip Carey. Stick around. Trevor and the boys have Braves Live presented by Xfinity next.